Tonight on CBC Vancouver News. CBC News learns new details about an accused BC extortionist. He was allegedly in Canada on an expired student visa. Plus,
recent tragedies here at home have reminded us that we cannot wait. We must act boldly and urgently.
BC applauds Ottawa's push to crack down on gender-based violence. And
completely full of eggs.
What is causing hundreds of salmon to die before they can spawn in an Abbotsford creek?
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. A CBC News investigation has learned an accused extortionist in this province was allegedly in Canada on an expired student visa. Now, exhibits obtained by CBC News, including video of a violent attack on a Punjabi music star's home on Vancouver Island, are providing a glimpse into the world of the Bishnoi gang. Jason Proctor reports.
This is alleged to be Vikram Sharma, one of two men accused of acting as a Canadian cell for the Bishnoi gang in 2024, charged with arson and firearms offences in relation to two separate incidents. This attack captured on video in the early hours of September 2nd at the Vancouver Island home of Punjabi music star AP Dhillon, and another in Surrey at the home of an extortion victim. Sharma's co-accused, Abjit Kingra, is in jail serving 6 years after pleading guilty to the incident at Dhillon's home. But Sharma is believed to be in India after fleeing Canada, where he had been living since coming on a student visa in June 2022. We know these details from a bail hearing, which had been under a publication ban that ended with Kingra's sentencing. CBC News has obtained exhibits and court recordings which give new details about these two men, who are among the few people who've actually been publicly identified in the ongoing wave of extortion incidents plaguing communities across Canada. Authorities say they've removed 5 people from the country and initiated nearly 100 investigations into foreign nationals, but little is known about those efforts, so these documents provide a window into how these men came to Canada and how they operate. According to prosecutors, both Sharma and Kingra came to Canada on student visas. Immigration authorities flagged Sharma in the months prior to these attacks after he submitted fraudulent documents in a bid to re-extend his permit. The pair allegedly met in Winnipeg and traveled to the West Coast after being contracted by the Bishnoi gang for the attack on Dhillon. The attack was said to be payback for him for featuring Bollywood actor and Bishnoi target Salmon in a music video. Kingra claimed he didn't know anyone would be home at Dhillon's house, but the court heard the singer's roommate woke up to the sounds of Sharma setting 2 cars on fire before Kingra stepped out and fired 14 rounds into the house, filming himself the whole time with a body camera. Footage he uploaded to the internet in the hours after the attack so the Bishnois could take credit. As they fled the scene, this motorcycle officer pulled Sharma's Mercedes over, holding his gun as he ordered them to step out of the car. They pulled away instead, ultimately crashing the Mercedes, catching a cab, and then the 7 a.m. ferry to the Lower Mainland, where they vanished before Sharma flew out of Toronto a month later and Kingra was captured in Barrie. Kingra, who had hoped to get permanent residency, wrote an apology letter that was also entered into this court file. He said he did a horrible and terrifying thing, calling his actions a big mistake that not only scared Dhillon and his family, but the community too. Jason Proctor, CBC News, Vancouver.
The federal government has now introduced a new bill that aims to toughen laws targeting crimes against women and children. It's being billed as one of the most consequential sets of changes in the criminal code in decades. The CBC's Kate McKenna has more.
Canada's Justice Minister ushering in a sweeping piece of legislation aimed at helping victims.
It's clear that public safety has become a major priority for the Government of Canada. And of course, that responds to the fact that public safety is a major priority for Canadians.
Bill C-16 targets violence against women, from criminalizing the distribution of sexual deepfakes to making all murder motivated by hate first degree, including femicide.
I think that
Minister Fraser has truly listened to what survivors have been saying. I think that the bill, it's very broad, but it has systematically addressed every aspect of the work that needs to be done to actually start the work of eradicating gender-based violence.
The bill would also crack down on online sextortion targeting kids. It would create an offense of recruiting youth into crime and would also strengthen mandatory minimum sentences for child sexual offenses.
What we are seeing today is unlike anything we have faced before. Reports of online sexual luring targeting Canadian children have surged to unprecedented levels.
The Justice Minister also says Ottawa will restore more than a dozen mandatory minimum sentences already ruled unconstitutional, but this time allowing some judicial discretion.
What we've seen in the decisions that the Supreme Court has made that have struck down routinely each of the mandatory minimums is that there was no provision to recognize that there may be circumstances where the penalty would be grossly disproportionate.
The bill also issues new guidance for how courts should deal with long waits for trials, requiring them to look at other options before ending a case due to delays. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
BC's Attorney General, meanwhile, says she is committed to making sure this province's own legislation enables lawmakers to take action on recommendations to change the justice system.
The number of women that experienced sexualized violence, intimate partner violence, they're shocking statistics, and it goes to show you how it sits in our society unaddressed. And that's what's propelled me for the actions that we're talking about right now.
One action is to bring in a provincial framework to guide and monitor the system's response to intimate partner violence. A 2019 survey showed almost 40% of BC women reported being sexually assaulted beginning at the age of 15. But only 5% of those cases were reported to police. Vancouver police say a suspect has been arrested and now charged in connection with a killing on the downtown east side in late November. Police say 45-year-old Mark Andrew Rosa was killed after a stranger attacked him around 3 a.m. near Gore and Powell Streets. The VPD says a 33-year-old man has now been charged with second-degree murder. The suspect remains in jail. Billboards with anti-abortion messages may soon be coming down around Kelowna. For many years, a local billboard company has allowed the signs along Highway 97 through West Kelowna. As Brady Strachan reports, pressure from a local pro-choice advocate has led to a policy change.
It's a familiar sight for drivers in West Kelowna. Dozens of large billboards lining the highway. Mixed in with the ads for realtors and flooring companies are signs with anti-abortion messaging. Signs that will soon be coming down. They're paid for by the Kelowna Right to Life Society, which has long used the highway corridor to spread its views.
This is what people see when they travel to KGH to get a surgical abortion.
Sophie Harms is part of the reason why. Earlier this year, she tried to purchase billboard space for a pro-choice ad of her own. No company would take it. But with support from lawyers working with the BC Humanist Association, Harms pressed the issue. And that led to a policy shift at BC Billboards, the company whose signs carry the anti-abortion ads. CBC News reached out to BC Billboards by phone and email, but did not receive a response. The BC Humanist Association provided CBC with an email from BC Billboard's president, Jim Wanup. In it, he says the company will no longer be advertising either side of the abortion debate, and any existing ads will be removed once their contracts expire. While it's not the exact outcome Harms was hoping for, she says it's still a win.
It is a victory, absolutely. When I started this idea, this campaign, I had low expectations, but I'm constantly surprised at the success.
The Kelowna Right to Life Society has used billboards for years to promote anti-abortion campaigns. Recently, it's expanded messaging to oppose medical assistance in dying. Spokesperson Marlon Bartram says he's seeking clarity from the billboard company.
We think that having a public debate on a difficult issue like this is important. All sides ought to put forth their arguments and their positions, and may the best ones win in the end.
He says the society will continue sharing its message in other ways, including weekly rallies outside Kelowna General Hospital. Harms, meanwhile, is looking for another platform for her pro-choice campaign,
I'm thinking maybe a mass t-shirt campaign, a mass poster campaign, perhaps transit advertisements.
It's clear the debate over abortion isn't going away anytime soon in the Okanagan, even if the billboards disappear. Brady Strachan, CBC News, West Kelowna.
A pest control company has called in the dogs to find rats and mice. It's a new program to help find rodents in homes and businesses. And it comes as the company releases its annual ranking of the rattiest cities in Canada. Our Jessica Chung tagged along for a live hunt with the pooches.
It's a new professional canine rodent detection service and especially trains rescue dogs to sniff out live rodent activity. And for more on this, we have Jesse Emerson, who is one of the handlers of one of these dogs, and he's going to go through a live demo with us of what these dogs actually do. So Jesse, tell us what you're going to show us right now.
Yes, I have Puzzle. He is our rodent detection dog. He sniffs out live rodents and nesting sites. And for this demo, I have a mouse right here. So he's sealed up and safe in there so the mice don't get harmed. But I'm able to take this and hide him around. Let's get to work.
Okay, so right now, what is Puzzle looking for?
He is just working the room right now, sniffing out, all the smells, determining where the rodents are, right? He's got to take some time, sniff it out. Yes, good boy. And then he gets a good reward.
So how does Puzzle help with the pest detection?
Just think of a big warehouse space that's got like many rows and you have signs of rodent activity everywhere. So for a technician to go in and actually visually inspect everything takes a really long time. Having Puzzle come in and kind of doing a sweep of the whole area, telling us where their higher activity is, we're able to target our searches in those areas. And just as importantly, for him to tell us that there's no activity somewhere means we don't have to worry about that area as much.
And this comes as Orkin Canada released its 2025 list of rattiest cities in Canada. 4 out of the top 5 cities are in BC. 3 of them are in the Lower Mainland, with Vancouver taking the number 3 spot.
If you are finding that you are having rodents in your home, one of the first steps is sanitation. Really good cleaning. Make sure you don't have food under your couch, under your fridge, under your stove. Get rid of those food sources and you're going to start being able to use baits and traps that are going to be much more effective. And then look for those holes, those small holes. You might not think that it's significant, but it could be where they're coming in.
The company is hoping to roll out more rodent detection dogs like Puzzle in other provinces in the future. Jessica Chung, CBC News, Vancouver.
Darius Madavi's here with the first look at the weather. Things getting a bit more serious, to say the least, with a lot more moisture.
That's right. A huge stream of moisture continues to feed into the Pacific Northwest and southern BC. We saw freezing levels drop earlier today as that moisture went a little bit further south. But as it's come back up, packing some of that warm air, those freezing levels jumping again today, which means any snow that did fall in any peaks below about 2,000 meters likely to get wiped out by rain. We have many weather warnings in place. Let's start with our yellow warnings. So these are ones that are the lowest level, but still won't meet warning criteria, according to Environment Canada. They could cause disruptions and impacts. You should plan around them, but no really long-term impacts are expected. We have 15 to 25 centimeters of snow coming to inland parts of the north coast around Stewart, as well as for the Williston area and Pine Pass. This is an extreme cold warning. Wind chill values down around -45 tonight. Then if we move down to the southeast, we still have some snowfall warnings, 20 to 30 centimeters from around Kootenay Pass. And yes, Kootenay Pass. No, Allison Pass. There we go. Sorry about that. And along parts of Yoho Park to Kootenay Park. And we have also some rainfall warnings in place for parts of the Elk Valley and areas further west of that as well. 40 to 60 millimeters expected there. On the south coast, 80 to 110 millimeters for the west coast of the island, 50 to 80 for much of Metro Vancouver and up the Sea to Sky and the Coquihalla. And here's our one orange warning, Dan. 80 to 100 millimeters expected for eastern parts of the Fraser Valley. Be on the lookout. More later in the show.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
An alarming number of female salmon are washing up dead in the Fraser Valley. Up next, volunteers in Abbotsford are looking for answers. Stick around.
I think it's important to give a human face to the stories that we hear every day, the people that they affect. And I think talking to those people is what really gives us the true sense of the impact of the stories that we're hearing.
We have an update on a potential strike that could upend holiday travel plans for many Canadians. Air Transat and its pilots union have reached a tentative agreement hours before a strike deadline that threatened to derail those travel plans. The CBC's Jennifer Lagrassa has more.
The uncertainty in recent days did end some vacations early, frustrating travelers.
Can't believe it.
Yes, it was vacation, but now it's finished.
There was a lot of stress. The vacation got short, and we were expected something better.
With a Wednesday strike deadline looming, Air Transat started bringing people back home early so passengers wouldn't be stranded. It also canceled more than a dozen flights, which will remain grounded despite the deal. The Airline Pilots Association and Air Transat had been in talks for nearly a year to replace their 2015 agreement. The union was asking for wage increases, better benefits, and job security, and experts say they had leverage.
This is where Canadians are traveling south, and it's where they make the majority of their money.
Industry experts say the airline is in the hole millions of dollars from the pandemic and overall economic uncertainty, so it really couldn't afford a strike.
From a union perspective, it's going to put the most pressure on the airline to create a deal.
Jennifer Lagrassa reporting. Back in this province, people who take care of waterways in Abbotsford are worried. Volunteers say a concerning number of female salmon are washing up dead before they're able to spawn in a local creek. And as the CBC's Bishnoi shows us, it's not clear why.
I'm here at Stony Creek in Abbotsford, where stream keepers say that an unusual number of female salmon are being found dead before they've actually spawned. Take a look at this.
Yeah.
Another female that hasn't spawned.
Heartbreaking. So when we find a dead fish, a dead adult coho, we cut it open to determine what sex it is, whether it's male or female. So we have to cut them open. And then we discovered that so many of them are still full of eggs.
In the past few weeks, volunteers say they have counted 379 female coho. Of those, 217 were found dead before they could spawn. Volunteers say the creek has been having a heavy run of fish, but this many deaths is new.
It's actually more concerning that we have such a high ratio of ones that haven't spawned.
It's not clear what the cause is. Doug Gosling is noticing more leeches.
There's leeches in his gills. It's the heavy infestation around the gills that looks alarming.
He's also wondering if a chemical known to come off tires and harm coho salmon is in the stream, but there is no evidence of that so far.
I really want to do some water testing and see if that chemical is in this water.
CBC News asked the province and City of Abbotsford about the fish deaths, and they deferred to the federal government. Environment Canada says enforcement officers have been notified. It adds if evidence of any alleged violations is found, quote, appropriate action is taken. Dead salmon have been a concern here before. The city's website says in 2021, more than 900 salmon were killed in Stony Creek after firefighting foam was accidentally released into a waterway. The city said the fish deaths were not caused by chemical contamination, but the foaming of the material limited the fish's ability to get oxygen. An assessment later found no impacts to aquatic life. And when it comes to these most recent deaths, volunteers hope to get answers quickly so more of these salmon can finish their epic life journey. Bishnoi, CBC News, Abbotsford.
The federal Liberals have voted against a motion brought forward by Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre designed to force the Prime Minister to, quote, put up or shut up on building a new oil pipeline. The motion called for MPs to support building a pipeline to carry Alberta bitumen to the BC coast. It used some of the language in the deal Ottawa recently signed with Alberta, but the Liberals argued it left out key environmental-related aspects. There's a look at a Soyuz earlier in the day, but cloudy, generally dry, and rather warm, up to 10 degrees for this time of year. Still, there is some rain coming for Canada's only true desert community. Darius has your BC-wide forecast coming up next.
This is Vancouver is a new CBC podcast where we explore the issues, the stories, and the people that make this place home. Listen to This is Vancouver wherever you get your podcasts.
You've likely noticed it at the grocery store and other places, the rising cost of food across Canada for many Canadians. A lot of families are struggling to put food on the table and pay rent, among other many bills. Well, local nonprofit More Than a Roof Foundation aims to help those struggling with those basic needs. This year, though, it says its own food budget has already spiked by tens of thousands of dollars. Joining us for more in studio is Scott Campbell. He is the foundation's executive director. Thanks for coming in. We know this is a busy time of year. What does it mean when you've got to pay tens of thousands of dollars extra for the work that you already are doing?
Yeah, well, I could talk about how much our budget has increased. I could talk about having to stretch every dollar. But the reality is these rising food costs are impacting real people. People we know, our neighbors, our friends, and for us it's our residents who depend on food programs like our Soul Kitchen, which feeds 300 people each week to 4 communities downtown Vancouver here. And many of our residents depend on those programs, not only because food nourishes the body, but because it nourishes the soul and reminds people that they're not alone.
What happens when you've got these costs? I think the number is a 4 to 6% rise in food costs for you. Are you still able to feed that 300 people a week, or what happens?
Well, it just becomes harder. So we depend on the donation of in-kind food, but we also depend on the donations of individual gifts, of financial gifts, so we can offset and supplement the food program and make it work. And it's really important for people to know that that's how these things happen. When I talk to people about giving, nobody seems to question that giving to food programs or housing is important. But oftentimes I'm asked whether or not their gift is really having an impact, because these issues feel so large and so complex. And they absolutely are large and complex, but generosity isn't. And so when people choose to give, especially in this season of giving, that's a thing that they can control.
What sort of person would benefit, or can you paint us a picture of the kind of person that you're helping out there? 300 plus people a week. Is it everyone from those who are unhoused to those perhaps who have a job?
Yeah, and we run a full range of people that live in our communities, individuals, seniors, families, and all of them are folks for whom housing security is a problem. And we know there's a direct correlation between housing insecurity and food insecurity. So many of our residents have been very generous in sharing their stories, and I'm thinking of Laura in particular. Laura spent 15 years struggling with addiction, oftentimes sleeping outside, finding a place where there was a camera so that she knew somebody was at least watching her. And Laura was able to battle through the addiction, find treatment, and then secured a home with us at More Than a Roof. But a real turning point for her was when she was fed by Soul Kitchen, and she realized that she had the strength to not only deal with the issues that she needed to deal with, but to reach out and actually help other women now who are finding themselves on a similar path, and Laura's there helping them through it.
And lastly, we appreciate your time. You are now in the fundraising season.
We are.
What are your goals? And for those who want to help, where can they do that?
Yeah, thanks. So we're right now trying to raise $30,000 to support Soul Kitchen. We've already secured $15,000 of it from a group of donors who have come together and said that they'll match dollar for dollar all gifts that come in to meet that goal of $30,000. And if people want to contribute, they can go to morethanaroof.foundation, and it's a great way for them to double their giving this year.
All right, Scott Campbell, we appreciate your time and all the best with the fundraising this season.
Thank you for having me.
Israel's parliament is considering some controversial new legislation that would see ultra-Orthodox Jews drafted to serve in the military. It is an issue creating divisions within that country, fueling fierce debate and angry protests. More now from Tom Perry in Jerusalem.
The latest clash between Israeli police and ultra-Orthodox Israeli Jews. This time blocking a highway and busy intersection near Tel Aviv. A protest against the Israeli government forcing them into mandatory military service.
Well, none of us are going to go to the army. We're hell-bent. There's no way in the world we're going to go to the army.
From other Israelis, though, an angry response. Some, like Matan Levy, who has served in the military as required by law, question why the ultra-Orthodox should get a pass.
I mean, it's unfair, but I can't do anything about it. It's been like that since the country was founded back in 1948, so.
Demonstrations like this are not uncommon. They've been happening ever since the government started talking about drafting ultra-Orthodox Israelis into the army. It's a sign of just how divisive this issue has become. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says proposed new legislation drafted after a high court ruling last year ended the military exemption for ultra-Orthodox Jews will bring a wave of new recruits. The opposition says Netanyahu has watered down his bill to hold on to support from ultra-Orthodox political parties and stay in power.
The legislation is promoted in order to allow them not to join the army.
Ultra-Orthodox Jews have been exempted from military service so they can study the Torah full-time at yeshiva, Jewish religious school. At this yeshiva in Jerusalem, Rabbi Yitzhak Goldstein worries about this dispute driving Israelis apart.
This can kill the country, can kill the nation. The second temple was destroyed and the Jewish nation fought between each other.
This fight far from over, a smoldering debate over politics, tradition, and religion. Tom Perry, CBC News, Jerusalem.
A mega quake warning has been issued for Japan after a 7.5 Temblor rattled that country. Coming up, we look at how Japan prepares for such events and what Canada can learn. Stick around. A mega quake warning has been issued for the coastline of Japan. It follows a 7.5 quake that struck yesterday. While no one has been reported killed, it did cause some injuries. Japan is one of the most earthquake-prone countries on Earth. It's also a leader when it comes to how to respond to the natural disaster. Johanna Wagstaff looks at the lessons Canada can learn from their approach.
The latest earthquake to hit Japan, a magnitude 7.6 off the north coast, triggered widespread shaking and a small tsunami. Even with minimal damage, this quake was a reminder to the rest of the world of why Japan is still the gold standard for earthquake response. Here's why. Japan treats big earthquakes and tsunamis as inevitable, not surprising. They experience over 100,000 quakes a year, with at least 100 of them being felt. And here's why that makes a life-saving difference.
I spent quite a bit of time in Japan following the 2011 tsunami, and the communities that they had the least amounts of deaths were those communities where the emergency managers actually hit the button, the evacuation button and the sirens, before even the earthquake had stopped shaking.
Most coastal communities know whether they live in a tsunami zone, where to go, and how long it takes to get to safety. That level of awareness saves lives, moving to higher ground the moment the shaking stops. Contrast that with what happened here in Canada after the major earthquake off Russia's coast in July 2025. Even towns that see themselves as well prepared stumbled. When the sirens went off in Tofino, BC, many people weren't sure whether to stay put or run. But there's something else that puts Japan ahead. Japan designs for the worst case. After the 2011 tsunami, evacuation lines, school plans, drills, and early warning protocols are rebuilt to be overly conservative. A tsunami water gate that stands 9.3 meters high, and people train to feel the force of just a foot of water pushing against a door. That level of preparation is something North America is still working on.
I think people are much more aware of tsunami hazards. So I would give Central and Southern California a C, I would give Northern California a B, and I will give Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia, I would give them an A-.
This was a thrust fault earthquake. A locked patch of rock suddenly gave way, snapping the overlying rock upward. That vertical motion can lift the seafloor and displace a huge amount of water in the form of a tsunami. It happened where the Pacific Plate dives beneath Japan, that same plate that dives beneath British Columbia. Subduction zones store stress over years, often in different patches, and each quake gives scientists a clear picture of how these faults behave, helping all subduction zone communities, including the Pacific Northwest, prepare for the next one.
The Weather Update is brought to you by BC Cancer Foundation. Give today to bring more progress and possibilities to patients and their families. Your donation changes everything.
Cyrus Madavi, science and climate specialist, here with the BC-wide weather forecast, and back to the rain.
That's right, back to the rain. We have lots more moisture feeding in over the next 24 hours or so, in some places maybe 30 hours. That moisture feeding in and then stepping back down south of us and then easing off on the coast, although we'll probably see another atmospheric river event graze us as we get later into the weekend, Friday and the weekend. But that one, not expected to be as intense. Now, this one, the worst of it has been going south of us, but we're still feeling some pretty intense impacts here. If we zoom in here, this is satellite and radar from today. We got a bit of a break, but it's really starting to pick up once again. And you'll notice that throughout the day, down south of us, Washington and Oregon, really getting hit pretty hard, and eastern sections of Washington state down south of the eastern Fraser Valley, those areas probably going to see some very heavy rainfall as well, just like the eastern Fraser Valley is as well. So very consistent rainfall for 24 hours. Don't expect to see many breaks in it during that period. For western parts of Vancouver Island, especially down in the more southern areas, again, as we looked at those warnings earlier in the show, 80 to 110 millimeters. For large parts of Metro Vancouver, especially up in the more northern areas and the more eastern areas of Metro Van, we're probably going to see as much as 50 to 80 millimeters of rain. That's also up the sea to sky, seeing that much rain as well. Freezing levels, if we zoom in here, actually, I want to take a look at those freezing levels just as we wait for this to loop. Over the next couple hours, we are going to see some snowfall. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, loop. There we go. Some snowfall coming on the local mountains, but very quickly those freezing levels jump up as we get into the next few hours, into the overnight period, and that means any snow that does fall wiped out very quickly by rain. And also notice this very consistent, relatively heavy rainfall coming to eastern parts of the Fraser Valley, central and eastern, so Chilliwack and anywhere further east. Heavy rainfall coming there, as well as to Manning Park. We see some more snowfall coming into the north as well as that comes in, and then breaking into eastern parts of the southern interior too. The southeast, probably going to see some pretty heavy snowfall accumulations, especially over in the Elk Valley, so the far southeastern parts of the province. Here's our snowfall totals expected in different areas. A fair amount coming to the Peace as well over the next couple days. As we look to our precipitation totals, this is both rain and snow. Again, that heaviest amount definitely down around the Fraser Valley, but eastern parts of the South Island also seeing fair accumulations, and a good amount for Victoria as well, which is usually more sheltered because of that rain shadow effect. Some areas in the interior may see a little bit of sunshine, but don't expect the precipitation to disappear entirely. There's a 5-day forecast. And again, with that rain heavy at times tomorrow, bit of a break on Thursday, and some lighter rain arriving on Friday.
Okay. Darius, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Canadian Olympic swimming champion Penny Oleksiak is speaking after her 2-year suspension for violating drug test protocols. In an exclusive interview with CBC News' Devin Haru, Oleksiak insists she never used performance-enhancing drugs, and she's planning to make a comeback.
Penny Oleksiak is ready to talk, sharing exclusively with CBC how she missed 3 doping tests in less than a year, now suspended from swimming for 2 years.
Dang, how it happened. It's just genuine mistake is really all I can really chalk it up to. But at the same time, yeah, it is frustrating knowing that I have that responsibility and that I wasn't able to uphold it to the standard that I normally would.
Costly mistakes, scheduling errors, she says, wrong place at the wrong time 3 times.
I think first and foremost, that I'm sorry that this happened. It wasn't something I ever wanted to happen. It wasn't something I ever expected to happen. It wasn't a plan I had, anything like that.
Apologetic and taking full accountability, but Oleksiak maintains she's always been a clean athlete.
When this all came to light, you posted on Instagram that you have always been a clean athlete. That's always been the way. I will ask you, have you ever taken performance-enhancing drugs?
No, I think it's definitely something that the picture is kind of painted that way because people are a whereabouts violation, which is what happened to me, gets put under automatically an anti-doping violation. It's never been me to do performance-enhancing drugs or even think about doing performance-enhancing drugs.
All of this has made Canada's most decorated female Olympian question if she should go on, but she says she's up for the challenge.
Go, 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 go. When I first got the information, there was a part of me even that was should I just call it? Is this my sign to just end it here and go find something else to do? I know I have that passion and I know I have that drive, and this isn't, again, something new for me.
In the same city where the Olympics will be in 3 years, Oleksiak is determined to make it to her 4th Games.
I can only anticipate and expect good things to come from LA. And I'm just so excited. I can't wait for that Olympics.
It'll be a daunting task for Oleksiak. Her suspension means she now has to train in a public pool, no coach, no private training, lane swimming, as she tries to make it back to the Olympics. Devin Haru, CBC News, Los Angeles.
And you can see more of Devin's worldwide exclusive interview with Penny Oleksiak tonight on The National at 10 p.m. Pacific, on CBC Television, or stream on CBC Sports' YouTube channel. Born into civil unrest and an uncertain future, adopted British Columbian Cyrus Gray didn't grow up with Olympic dreams until he got into bobsledding. His story after the break.
So I know when I really like a song, if within the first 3 seconds, I'm already vibing to it.
Hey, I'm Rohith Joseph. Vibin' is the new show all about discovering great new songs and fresh artists from across BC and beyond.
It's not one person dictating what good music is, it's the community sharing what good music is.
Stream Vibin' on CBC Listen.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
December 5th kicked off CBC's Make the Season Kind, supporting food banks in British Columbia. Thank you to all who have already donated generously and made a difference. The charity drive continues until December 31st. To find out more, head to cbc.ca/kindbc. And never miss a special programming series, event, or contest. Subscribe to CBC Vancouver's e-newsletter and keep connected with us.
A Liberian boy transplanted to Duncan, BC, dreamed of becoming a professional basketball player. But when that dream didn't work out, Cyrus Gray tried out for the Bobsleigh Canada skeleton team.
He's now in the driver's seat and is going to the Winter Olympics in Italy in February. Here's a look at how Cyrus Gray got there.
I know I wanted to be an athlete when I was adopted into Canada at the age of 12. The dream was NBA. Since I've been in Canada, it's all been basketball 24/7, training hard, trying to get to the next level. I'm like, yeah, I think I can do this. I think I can work myself hard enough to be able to play like semi-pro or professional. And then when I went to college, not having the training to be at the level that I need to be able to play professional basketball, it was a tough realization that basketball wasn't going to be the dream. Took me a while to realize, like, oh, no more sporting. That's it for me. My mom told me about the RBC training ground. She's just like, oh, like, you'll be good at this, and then sign me up for it. I didn't put any stock into it. I didn't really care about it. Then when I got there, I'm like, okay, I'm here. Let's see what we can get out of it. They test a bunch of athletes, and then they pick the top 100 athletes from there. I placed in the top 10 at the regionals. I was noticed from the strength and the speed. I was given a card, and the guy was like, oh, like, you look like you could be good at bobsleigh. You want to come try it? I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go give it a try. I didn't know anything being a kid from Duncan about bobsledding. And they made me push. I almost tripped and didn't get in. I almost threw up. I'm pretty sure I almost cried too, so.
I'll leave it running this time in case he falls again.
It was a different feeling. People kept on telling me, like, oh, like, you could be good at this if you train. So that, like, motivated me to train really hard and find myself a coach and just see where it can take me. My biggest fan is this lady to my right. Yeah, my mom. My mom is my biggest fan. Well, she's not just the biggest fan, she's also the OG fan, as the people will say. The very first one, you know? Always there in my corner from day one, and yeah, it's meant a lot. Yeah, is the first one.
It's the very first time we were a family of 7. From a young age, a seed was planted for adoption. And then I met my husband, and we then had kids very soon. Fast forward a few years, we built a very large house. All our kids had their own bedrooms. We'd been in a small house previously, and once we were in it, it felt too much. It felt like a lot for just us. And it felt like we just had room in our hearts and in our lives, in our house for more. So Sean's mom at the time had been sending us this very radical Christian magazine. And there was an article, I read it with very gritted teeth mostly, but there was an article in there about 3 amazing organizations in Liberia. And they gave us several photos. I printed the photos, and I would pray over them and look at them and pray over them. And I feel like God chose Cyrus and Aloysius for our family, absolutely. I feel like they were just planted like in my heart, deep in my heart. He was in a World Cup race where they got the bronze medal. It was very exciting. There was a bunch of people, local people, friends and family that were able to go and cheer him on. So it was really, really special. I told him recently how proud I am of him, and I said, but you know that I'm proud of the person you are, the man of integrity that you are, the kind, funny, like, it's all of those things that I love and I'm proud of. And of course I want success for you because that's what you want.
Going from a brakeman to a pilot, you have more responsibility to be able to get down the track safely, and you got to remember which way the corners go, how to get into corners, how to get out of it, how to find the fastest line down, and just keep your crew in one piece.
Pride of BC, best of luck to him. A member of the Royal Canadian Navy spent more than 2 hours in the water off Vancouver Island after they fell overboard on Monday afternoon. A multi-agency rescue effort was launched, including Navy and Coast Guard vessels, helicopters, and other aircraft from Canada and the U.S.
A crew in a chopper spotted the member around 5 p.m. Here's a look at that rescue.
He just waved his hand. He just waved his hand up. He is alive.
Nice.
Yeah, we got him.
The Navy says the sailor was returning from sentry duties near the Bentic Island Explosives Training Range near the southern tip of Vancouver Island when they fell from a rigid hull inflatable boat.
So the conditions were very, very severe. There was winds, swells, and there was approaching darkness as well. So it's a very challenging search, so we're very grateful for all the team efforts that all the crews had.
Rescuers say the sailor is in stable condition. The Navy is still trying to figure out why they went overboard. Probably cold water too. Glad they're okay.
Yes. Thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, our free app, as well as on YouTube and our website, cbc.ca/BC.
And we'll have your next local news at 11 o'clock, right after the National. Good night.